In the recently published Happiness Report, Israel is in 12th place in the world. The happiest country in the world is Finland. The report grades the level of happiness according to 6 varying parameters: income, freedom, faith, life expectancy and health, welfare, and generosity. Why can't we have a bit more of that here in Israel? Because you're a Jew and not Finnish. So what? It's a big difference. What's the difference? Because they mind only that which is related to their home, their neighbors maybe a bit things that are going on in the country. The world doesn't really interest them altogether, and it's a question of whether they even know what goes on outside their village. How many Finnish people leave their home to fly to different places around the world compared to Israelis? Well, Israelis, they're world champions at flying to different places, but still, what causes a person to be happy? We're talking about the World Happiness Report. What causes a person to feel that he or she are happy? He feels that what he wants happens. Sounds like a dream. Ah, and for them it's not a dream, because their desires are pretty simple. What I made. I hung out where I did. I have friends, thank God. I have family, thank God. Everything's good and nice. There's rain, there's snow, something falls from the heaven. Everything's fine. And so they really feel good. Israel, according to this index, is climbing ever higher every year. We're already in 12th place and we're rising all the time. Do you think that we'll ever make it to the top of the World Happiness Index? I don't think that it's possible. Because, as it says, a person dies without achieving even half of what he wanted. So why do we have this inner desire for it? It's a demand that comes from above, and therefore we can never be happy. And if you ask an Israeli and he says that he's happy, he's lying. He's lying to himself? That too. He's not happy. How do you define happiness? Real happiness? I don't want anything. Because you have everything? Yes. May everything stop. I want for things to remain this way. It's perfect as it is. Yes. How do I go into such a state? It depends on how much you have in the bank. Your egoistic desire is growing all the time, and it will demand of you each and every moment new discernments, new engagements, and therefore there's no hope of you calming down. So what's going to happen to us? Unfortunately, or not unfortunately, but we will all the time have to achieve more and more achievements in life until we will understand that the remedy for a happy life is not in running forward. In what then? That we will feel good where we are right now. And therefore it says, rich is he who is happy with what he has. But how can you be happy with what you have? Your neighbor has more. I want what he has, more than he has. But once you take what he has, it's not enough. So it's a trap. It's like a running wheel. So get out of it. How to get out of it? This is what the method of the wisdom of Kabbalah is all about. That it helps a person understand how to live his life in order to be happy. And how does a person have to live his life in order to be happy? That you're not going to fulfill your egoistic desires, but that you want to fulfill your fellow man and he wants to fulfill you. And this is how everyone is towards everyone. And then you start saying that it's possible to live in a world that's utterly good and that we can fulfill everyone and that we don't need anything else. I don't look at the other person in order to learn what am I lacking. I look at others in order to see how can I fulfill them with something, and this is how they look at me too. And only by such an attitude can we truly be worthy of happiness and joy, even more than the Finnish.